So, two phones just broke the internet this week, and they couldn't be more different. One of them costs roughly $650, has a battery so big it should come with a warning label, and it just appeared out of nowhere, 4 months ahead of schedule. The other one starts at $1,000, hasn't launched yet, and Apple still hasn't said a single word about it. But the leaks are loud. We're talking Xiaomi 17T versus iPhone 18 Pro. And here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. One of these might actually make the other one irrelevant for a huge chunk of buyers. Let me explain. The Xiaomi 17T just broke cover through a Geekbench listing, which means it's real, it's close, and someone at Xiaomi hit upload a little too early. Meanwhile, the iPhone 18 Pro leaks have been building for months, and as of right now, we have a surprisingly clear picture of what Apple is planning for September. I've been tracking both of these for weeks, and there are a few details, one on each side, that genuinely surprised me. We'll get to those. But first, Xiaomi, because that's where things get a little wild this week. Xiaomi is breaking a 6-year pattern with the 17T series. The T lineup has historically debuted in September and consistent as clockwork. This year, the 17T and 17T Pro are both targeting Q2 2026, pushed forward by roughly 4 months. That's not a small thing. That's Xiaomi essentially saying, like, we're done waiting. And the timing is deliberate. This move is designed to strengthen Xiaomi's position in the competitive, affordable flagship segment before mid-year market saturation hits. Translation, they want to eat Android lunch before Samsung and OnePlus wake up. So what's actually in this phone? Geekbench confirms the Dimensity 8500, a 3.40 gigahertz prime core Mali G720MC8 GPU, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and Android 16. That chip is a meaningful step up from the Dimensity 8400 Ultra in the 15T. The standard 17T is rumored to come with a 6.59-inch flat OLED display with 1.5K resolution, a 7,000 milliamp hour battery with 67-watt fast charging, a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and a triple rear camera setup headlined by a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 7,000 milliamp hour battery in a phone that isn't a gaming brick. I cannot stress this enough, and that number is genuinely absurd. For context, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, Apple's biggest battery phone, is sitting around 4,685 milliamp hours. Xiaomi is out here with nearly twice the capacity, and they're not even calling it the Pro. It may also include a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 50 megapixel telephoto sensor with Leica tuning expected to enhance image quality. So yes, Leica cameras in the mid-range again, and the build, the Xiaomi 17T, may come with IP68 and IP69 ratings for dust and water resistance. IP69, that's industrial waterproofing on a sub-$700 phone. Okay, but wait, because the Pro model is the one that actually made me stop scrolling. The 17T Pro features the Dimensity 9500, a 165 hertz OLED display, an 8,500 milliamp hour battery, 100-watt charging, a cooling fan, a periscope, telephoto, an IP68 and IP69 dual water resistance ratings, a notably larger step up than previous Pro generations. Read that again. 8,500 milliamp hours, 100-watt charging, a cooling fan, a periscope telephoto, dual water resistance ratings, the inclusion of a built-in cooling fan and confirmed by a tipster on Weibo is a feature that's currently limited to gaming phones like the iQOO 15 Ultra. Seeing it appear in the T series is notable. Notable, that's one word for it. Slightly alarming is another, because Xiaomi just put gaming phone cooling tech into what is supposed to be a mainstream mid-range device. And they're doing it in Q2, not September, and which means this phone will These will be sitting on shelves for months before the iPhone 18 Pro even launches. That brings us to the question, Xiaomi 17T Pro versus iPhone 18 Pro, who wins? And the answer is messier than you think. Let's talk about Apple. The iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, and iPhone Fold are coming in September 2026. No surprises there. But Apple is doing something unusual this cycle. Apple is splitting its iPhone 18 lineup with the more expensive Pro and Fold models launching in fall 2026, and the more affordable iPhone 18 and iPhone 18e coming in spring 2027, which means if you walk into an Apple store this September, every single iPhone available will cost $999 or more. There's no budget entry point. Apple is effectively forcing your hand. Is that bold? Yes. Is it a little aggressive? Also, yes. Now, the actual phone. What's new? The main 48 megapixel Fusion camera on both iPhone 18 Pro models is rumored to have a variable aperture, which would allow users to control the amount of light that passes through the camera's lens and reaches the sensor. Variable aperture on a smartphone main camera. This is a big deal. Most phones use fixed apertures. The lens opening is set, and that variable aperture means in dark scenes, you open it up. In bright outdoor shots, you close it down. It's how professional cameras have worked for decades. Apple bringing it to a phone at this scale is genuinely significant. Face ID's flood illuminator will be moved under the screen on the iPhone 18 Pro models, paving the way for a smaller dynamic island on the devices. Reports suggest it could shrink by up to 35%. And yes, it's still a pill, not a hole punch, not fully under screen. Despite what a lot of headlines implied a few months ago, Apple's high-end iPhone Fold will get most of the attention in 2026, but there are some useful upgrades planned for the iPhone 18 Pro models, including Apple's first 2-nanometer chip with real performance and efficiency improvements. The A20 Pro on 2 nanometers, that's a jump from 3 nanometers on the A19. It won't double performance, no chip does, but efficiency improvements from a smaller node mean better battery life without adding physical battery capacity, which is a little ironic when you put this next to Xiaomi's 8,500 milliamp hour monster. And then there's this, with the C2 modem, the iPhone 18 Pro models will reportedly support 5G via satellite for web browsing without Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity. Full internet access over satellite, no signal, no Wi-Fi, doesn't matter. If this works as advertised, that's a feature that nobody else has at this level, and it's genuinely useful if you're anywhere outside a city. This is the part of every iPhone cycle where I pretend colors don't matter and then spend 45 seconds talking about colors. The special color for the iPhone 18 Pro models will reportedly be dark cherry alongside light blue, dark gray, and silver. The existing cosmic orange and deep blue colors are expected to be discontinued. Dark cherry, which, according to one supply chain source, is more of a dark cherry with a tinge of purple, and so not a red, more of a deep burgundy. And look, I know this sounds minor, but color drives a surprising number of iPhone upgrade decisions, and Apple knows this. Cosmic orange was divisive. Dark cherry sounds like a move towards something more premium. For Xiaomi's part, that's roughly $650 at current conversion rates for a phone with Leica cameras, IP69, and a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, while the iPhone 18 Pro starts at $999. And that's where the real conversation starts. Here's my honest take. If you're fully inside the Apple ecosystem, AirDrop, iMessage, Apple Watch, MacBook handoff, the iPhone 18 Pro is almost certainly your phone in September. The variable aperture camera alone is worth attention. The 2-nanometer chip will matter for longevity. And satellite internet is genuinely future-proofing in a way that's hard to dismiss. It's a meaningful upgrade cycle, not a boring one. But if you are an Android user or someone sitting on the fence, the Xiaomi 17T Pro is asking a real question. The specifications, particularly that massive battery and flagship grade processor, suggest Xiaomi is positioning the 17T series to seriously disrupt the affordable flagship segment this year. An 8,500 milliamp hour battery with 100-watt charging, a Dimensity 9,500 Leica cameras, a cooling fan IP69 at a price that's probably 40% less than the iPhone 18 Pro. That's not a budget phone. That's a value proposition that's hard to argue with. The uncomfortable truth for most people's daily use, calls, cameras, streaming, social, the Xiaomi 17T Pro will do 90% of what the iPhone 18 Pro does at significantly less money. The 10% it doesn't do, that's ecosystem. And for a lot of people, that 10% is everything. So the real question isn't which phone is better, it's which 10% matters to you. Drop that answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where people land on this. See you next video. Peace out.